Got a relatively rare opportunity here. On the left, the one that's not in the cabinet, is that hand-wired limited edition AC30, UK made from 2002. And it's been all modded to have the reverb out and made much more like a JMI. On the right, in the cabinet with the Vox Blues, the Celestion 15-watt Blues, Alnicos, is another amp that was brought in by a man who had seen the first video, and he has the same amp. So 2 instances of the relatively rare hand-wired limited edition amp. The one on the right is in stock form. The one on the left is after the mods. I thought it'd be criminal not to do a comparison. And I'm going to have the settings on each amp as much the same as 2 amp settings can be made the same. Variations I will mention for specific reasons. And I really, really wish I could find that looper pedal. I think at this point, the only way to find the looper pedal that I should already have is to order another one. And then about a day after I buy another one, I'll find the first one. That's the way of the world. So I'm just going to do some basic stuff with a couple different guitars, different volume levels. Each amp you will hear through the Alnico Blue on the right. The mic's not going to change, the speaker's not going to change. So aside from minor playing variations, you're going to hear a very fair comparison of the stock amp and the modded amp. So let's get started. All right, stock amp, volume just below 10 o'clock. In fact, you'll be able to see the controls on the modded one there. They're going to be set the same throughout this, except for some differences on the volumes that I will mention. Anyway, so just some basic semi-cleans. Notice that's a lot dirtier. It's because with that reverb taken out, the insertion loss is gone, and there's quite a bit more gain. Also high end. So I'm going to turn the channel volume down a little bit on the modded one to get comparable to where we were at on the stock one. Let's try some different guitars. All right, so far I've kept the volumes comparable. That one's about 10 o'clock. That one's at 9 o'clock on the volumes. I haven't changed anything else. I'm going to turn the volumes up a bit with the Les Paul, do a little bit higher gain stuff, and see how the master volumes change. Right now, both masters are on full. The one in the stock amp is a cross line. The one in the modded amp is what's called a Larmar. Should have a better retention of the sound at lower volumes, but let's see if that's the case. So I'm just going to find a loud, sweet spot, kind of fresh, creamy on the stock amp, and then try to match that with the modded amp, and then we'll play around with the master volumes. All right, to get the sound I wanted out of the stock amp, I've got the gain, the volume up almost to 3 o'clock, about 2:30. So I'm going to play a little bit right there, then turn the master down halfway and see what the sounds like. Okay, it's not bad at halfway, but it's not a huge volume reduction at halfway. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit more to try to get small club levels. And that o'clock position will vary from master to master. Let's see how I do. All right, to get comparable levels of gain, the modded amp needs to be just over 1 o'clock, almost 2. The stock needs to be almost at 3 o'clock to get in this area. To get roughly the same attenuation, this master only needs to be down to about 2 o'clock, and it seems to keep the grit a bit better. But I'm going to raise the master volume back up because I can, and it's awesome. And I'm just going to see how harmonically alive each amp is. I'm not sure how well those differences will translate to the mic, so I'm going to do a little bit more detailed, clean playing just while I have the opportunity. A lot of the differences are relatively subtle, so I'm going to go back down to where I had the volumes at the beginning of the video. I will say that the stock amp here at high gain is picking up radio stations. The modded amp used to do that when it first came. It no longer is. That's always fun. That's because of the way they did the ground scheme. That'll get fixed on the stock amp too. It will soon no longer be an AM/FM receiver. I will say that the modded amp is a lot more fun to play. It's like the color spectrum opens up. There are more frequencies. It's not boxy. Has extended highs without being brittle. Has extended lows. Has more gain available, so that it's more responsive to your right hand. The lack of radio stations is a real nice plus. And it loves them blue Alnicos.